The strongest do not fear the elements. They embrace them. Midway through the week, we are beginning to see who is rising above the field and taking advantage of what the course has to offer. But the challenges of nature never stop, and to flourish requires thriving through the chaos. Round 3 of the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championship marches on now.
Hello and welcome to round 3 of the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championships presented by Zuka. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Hog.
We're back at New London.
Finally.
In the woods. I think I definitely like this course better. So
it was a chilly morning though out there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like even standing on hole 1's tee pad as you descended into the course, it got like 5 to 10 degrees colder.
Mm-hmm.
Not being dramatic.
15 even.
Holyn Handley, first one on our card. She's right now wire to wire, 70% fairway hits, 53% circle 2 in regulation, 95% of her circle 1X putts dropping.
Eveliina Salonen, we saw her shoot a really great round yesterday. She's 77% fairway hits, 72% circle 2 in regulation, 74% C1X putting. Always fun to watch her play in the woods.
Mertsch, 82% fairway hits. She held up on the wide open course after shredding the wooded course, 69% circle 2 in regulation through round 2, 75% of her circle 1X putts dropping.
Emily Weatherman rounding out the card, 77% fairway hits, 39% C2 in regulation, and 94% C1X putting. That's pretty amazing. We saw Emily and Eveliina on the chase card check-ins all day yesterday to make it to lead card. Very excited to see what they can do in the woods. Hole 1 is a par 3. It's 395 feet, but downhill, so reachable by anyone in the field. Very straight fairway here. You can work usually like a hyzer flip you see a lot of. If you try the flex, you got to keep it really tight and maybe push the right side of the trees before fading to the left and often leaving yourself a putt. You can park it, but it's difficult.
This is the 9:30 tee time. And teeing off first. 2 rounds, she's 12 under par, and your leader from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Holyn shooting 2 down yesterday at Ivy. She was 10 down out here in round 1, if you didn't watch, with 2 eagles and a bogey. What a crazy score. She's going titanium Undertaker today, but pulls it just a bit right. Common play, and she actually gets through quite nicely.
From Pirkanmaa, Finland, Eveliina Salonen.
Like Erika said, Eveliina on our chase card check-ins all day yesterday, shooting hot enough to work her way up into second place.
5 down, right? Tied for the hot round yesterday. Oh, that looks so good.
This is the style of golf that Eveliina is used to playing to, a European-style wooded course, and where she thrives.
From Rosebud, Arkansas, Mertsch.
What if she just threw right there and that wasn't a warm-up?
Just
so quickly.
While everyone's still clapping.
Like, I want to be mid-run-up while the announcer's going, and like as he says my name, the disc comes out.
Cat committing to the shot, but getting a big late release, working her way through all of the trees.
Nuts. She went in so early.
From Abilene, Texas, Weatherman.
Emily Weatherman winning Des Moines this year. We've seen her a little bit here and there on lead cards, but for being an Elite Series winner, haven't seen her as much as you'd think. Excited to watch her today.
Yeah, this is very early in her major career.
How are they all doing this? You know what I'm saying?
Is that the line?
Like 1 or 2, yeah, all right. But like you just often kick so deep into those woods. the fact that they all got through pretty clean is...
And have putts.
It just makes me feel like...
A lot of
we
feelings.
just sound
There's a lot
like
of
we're
feelings.
whining. There's no trees over there at all. In fact, there's a wide open route.
It really is pretty improbable to see one disc do that, much less everybody.
Holyn, somewhat of a look here going over that little tree. And it does check up. This hill can produce rollaways. I field tested it earlier.
Yeah, it's a really hard pan green with a bunch of little wiggly rocks that stick up and have a tendency to put your disc on edge.
So wiggly.
There were only 3 birdies on this hole today.
Cat with a great par save and a strange way to play the hole.
Only 6 people got to circle 1 in regulation, while 16 got to circle 2. So this green's hard to access even if you do pure the fairway.
Who got it?
Raven Klein, Stacy Ronsley, and Owen Scoggins bagged one from circle 2.
Nice.
Eveliina going to start her round off with a bogey.
Holyn with a short miss to start 2. Bit nervier today, perhaps. She doesn't look phased, though. She looks oddly relaxed. Kind of island vibes, unsure.
2 bogeys, 2 pars. Hole 1 is not one you're really very connected to. It's kind of a bonus birdie, I would say.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel great starting with a bogey, though. Let's check in with Haley King.
Fresh off a double.
Fresh off a double. I believe that's a wraith, and that is about, I'd say, 40 feet farther than a lot of ladies are landing.
That was a friendly little tree bounce.
Yeah,
And look at this second shot. It's kind of a rip.
it is. But she makes it look pretty short.
A nice bounce back from the double on hole 1.
And what a nice shank from Cat Mertsch there.
Kristen Tatar 2 down to start off her round, working her way up the leaderboard. On hole 2, we have the par 4 that we just watched Haley King play. Your first shot is a turning shot that ideally gets somewhere around this manhole or ideally over the top of it. Problem is sometimes you push too far straight or get a little too much turn, and then it's very difficult to access this green. It's a lot farther down the fairway than a lot of holes we see with this shape. It's a big, I would say almost a fairway or a distance driver rip on your second. And it's got to come in soft because this green is pretty hard pan.
Cat Mertsch with what she deems an older sidewinder off the tee.
And that went so far that she found the corner that a lot of players are throwing into on their second shot.
It's probably because it's older that it turned. That was a great shot. Emily with a tighter line here. This is good if it just misses those trees that it didn't miss.
Thankfully,
It's still not bad.
Yeah, it kicked left, and it's easier to throw from there. That right side is brutal.
Holyn, slower speed, ESP, Nebula. Oh, so close to being perfect. Still good.
Yeah, that's where a lot of players are lacing a shot and landing.
Mm-hmm. And again, we saw Haley probably, 50 plus feet ahead of that little manhole cover. Ah, so pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the grass.
Star Destroyer from Eveliina. So much power and control over those high-speed drivers. This shot can be tricky because of all the roots. You saw Holyn kind of stepping over them very tactically. Sometimes you land in the middle of the fairway and don't really have a great run-up. depending on what the routes look like.
Yeah, Holyn, a little bit of an early release. I'm not sure if she even got into circle 2.
This is scary. Okay, maybe she
Oh.
wasn't as close to the tree as it looked.
It was definitely in her mind, hence this errant shot. The right side is, I think, a little bit friendlier than the left side. There's just smaller trees, though, and sometimes you can find yourself in a little jail.
She looks like she might be about pin high. Eveliina, definitely with a chance here to birdie. Just got to get past that one little tree. And a nice little roll. She'll have a tester putt, similar to the one she just missed on hole 1.
Kat having to work a forehand flex shot.
Wow.
Coming in hot.
Still good from where she was.
Circle 2. A little uphill bid. Holyn with a tree. Out to the right. Has to throw a little touch forehand and gets knocked down early. Having to scramble today already.
Not looking quite as clean as the last couple of days. Still lots of golf left, as they say.
These 2 holes to start are, I think, kind of a doozy.
Do you?
Yeah. Hole 1's tee shot is really demanding. Hole 2's tee shot is a very committed turnover with like some pretty intense scrambling off the fairway.
That does sound like a recipe for a doozy. Eveliina looking very timid on the green.
Yeah, she's putting herself in position for birdie, just not quite capitalizing on it so far today.
She would. We saw Kat Mertsch hit a few of those big ones yesterday. Let's start off with a slow mez here. So much pop on this hyzer putt. Wow. That'll get your round going.
My gosh, how many circle 2s have we seen Kat hit this week? She is mind-blowing. When the putter's on for her, it's terrifying.
I think it's exhilarating.
She's coming for you. Eveliina makes good on her comeback putt, and that's kind of a trend.
Yeah.
Her comeback putts always look really confident.
And that wasn't an easy one. She had that tree she had to straddle around, a little bit of a low ceiling. Holyn with a bogey start. Kat Mertsch now only 1 stroke away. I believe that Holyn has had the solo lead except for 1 hole yesterday. She was tied for 1 or perhaps 2 holes tops. And for those of you that are going to look and tell me I'm wrong, whatever. It has not been very long that she shared the lead.
Haley, one of the few people on hole 4 that has the power to get the sidearm up this big hill.
Especially on a pure hyzer.
2 birdies. She's back to even par. There were only 5 birdies on hole 2, so Kat Mertsch getting 1 right there while Holyn Handley bogeyed is definitely a flex. You got it a lot tighter at the top than we've seen.
Hole 3 is a short par 3, only 305 feet. Almost said 3. You want to birdie this one. It's straight in front of you. It's a tight-ish fairway. I think the most common mistake is throwing it a little too straight into that right side, catching something, often kicking to the left. You see mids and fairway drivers, I'd say most often. Does it play just a touch downhill?
Yeah, definitely. But it doesn't change the distance, like the distance feel. Mm-hmm. You still do have to kind of crush it, even though it's 305 feet.
Kat Mertsch early off the tee finds a gap. One guy in the gallery was really tickled by it.
He's been there every day, and he is always quite entertaining.
I'm a fan of that guy. I'm going to go follow lead card and just like find him. We're going to laugh together.
Chuckle with him.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Weatherman dialed here, pushing the right side tree line exactly the perfect amount.
Looks like she threw a halo sidewinder there. So clean. Pretty straight skip. Eveliina at the edge of the circle was in Champion J.
A nice little uphill putt, though.
Holyn looking to hopefully get some green or at least her first par of the day.
This one's not quite flipping up, but she got a great straight skip yesterday off the top of the manhole Tony Hawk.
Can she do it again? I like that Kat's putting form looks a little bit different almost every time.
Yep. She's the epitome of a field putter.
Mm-hmm. Eveliina uphill. At least committed that time, hits the band.
Right on line, dead center. Holyn.
Great putt.
Yep, on the map here, racing one of those bogeys.
I like that we saw her kind of take a breath and focus on that one. Emily Weatherman also going to get her first birdie of the round.
Even though this is one of the easier holes of the day, the third easiest, there was only 11 birdies. Cadence Burge, the only player to park this hole. Another check-in with Haley King.
Yeah, she goes for it on the first shot. Over OB the whole way on hole 5. It's a par 4. She's trying to clear that huge out-of-bounds area, and it looks like she does it. It makes for a pretty simple birdie after that. I bet Natalie does the same thing, or attempts to.
Yeah, she's standing off the back of the tee pad. She's about to go huge. Yes.
Huge, huge.
Cleared. It's weird. I can't tell from the camera angle where those corner trees are. Oh, Haley also went huge.
Yeah, just to clear that OB is really impressive. I wish I knew the distance on the carry, but it makes it so this is more of a chip shot rather than a full drive.
It's very severely uphill. It's a really difficult shot. It's hard to get the power.
Yeah, and it's
to
totally
throw.
blind too.
Yep.
Tree. Oh, Haley for, yep, another birdie.
Bouncing back nicely from hole 1. Natalie going to get her first birdie of the day.
My Zuka car is most helpful because it allows me to carry a massive amount of discs. My backups have backups, and I can fit all of that in my cart.
The putter pouch, that's definitely my favorite feature. Slick, holds everything that I need in there.
The room and the things that I can carry on the course in the Zuka fits me perfectly.
I'm not the tall person right here. I like the handle. It can be up and down. That's my point right there. All I have to do is just thinking about what I'm gonna birdie.
Hole 4, we just watched Haley King birdie this one with a massive sidearm, but that is not what a lot of players in the field are able to do. We see backhands, a lot of straight backhands that are just trying to lay up to this area, maybe give a long putt, or maybe trying to turn something through these corner trees, but oftentimes you see the disc turning a little too early, not getting a late enough fade after this severe uphill area. The most thing you want to make sure you don't do is early release and find those woods on the left side. It is very hard to rescue a par from there.
Even if you can't get the sidearm all the way up there, I like it for the shape and just kind of where you land. The backhand definitely feels like if you mess it up, we don't know where you're going. Emily, pretty center cut, but behind a big group of trees there. Always surprised me that Holyn doesn't go back forehand here, but she parked it in round 1. Not so much today.
Yep. That grouping of trees can be kind of brutal to scramble from as well.
Cat Mertsch starting farther left of that grouping does get a little bit of a kick, but she's in circle 2.
Eveliina, definitely late release, hoping to get lucky through those trees.
Come on.
Yeah, she sure does.
Doesn't even have to putt.
Holyn straddled out wide, taking the little side fairway. It's nice there if you can get your disc to push far enough into those trees. But this green is so weird. You have to land at the base of the basket. If you come up short, there's a little gully or something, a little ditch, and it kind of swallows discs. A weird place to putt from. That is also field tested.
Yeah, I was down in there too. There's lots of trees in the way. Holyn, good for the par, her first of the round. Still 1 over on the round, but leading the way. I think it's really nice of us to field test those weird spots so no one else has to do it. You're like, oh, that looks bad.
Or just so that we can adequately discuss them here in the booth with you guys.
Right. Emily squeaks that in a little bit left side, keeping her bogey-free round going.
Eveliina, first birdie of the day, back to even par with the pure shot.
Yep. No trees, yeah. Oh yeah, let's see it again.
This course has me looking at those gaps, though, and seriously considering them.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like, if I feel like I can hit it,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that low percentage.
Eveliina with that birdie, a tie for second with Cat Mertsch. Hole 5, we just saw Haley and Natalie birdie it. You see a lot of sidearms or layups, though, to this kind of flat area, maybe to the left of those trees on the corner of this out of bounds large pit. Don't know what to call it.
Drainage area.
Yeah, it's drainage area. At 519, it's not the longest shot, but because you kind of have to take some off if you're laying up, it tends to be a pretty big and blind second shot. I don't think, did we see anyone go across in day 1? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either. Everyone
Although we
stuck
saw
with the layup
some
play.
attempts. I think Holyn might have tried to go, but was OB, but saved it.
Oh yeah, save the 4. You're right. Eveliina filtering way down the hill. Thankfully, landed safe. Emily throwing right at that corner tree. It's a lot of people's plays, but she filters way down the hill, gets a huge skip, and she's going to be out of bounds left. That is, I don't want to say it's impossible to save par from there, but it is a very difficult blind shot. Holyn going for it again today. This looks a lot better.
It does.
A really nice correction, although she could be
She's got it.
pushing the OB left.
Sit down. Be nice. Come on.
Wow.
Come on. Come on.
Oh my gosh. This course is feeling wild today. I've seen so many discs roll today.
And you know that she can't see that. She's just watching the spotter like turn his head slowly.
Say something.
Yeah. And Cat Mertsch with the forehand. I like this play to fight the hill and try to get up on the flat spot. Sit down. It usually sits a little nicer, whereas the backhand fades towards the OB, but she's safe.
Cat Mertsch yelling, "Stay with me."
Cat going forehand. Ooh, turning it. It's a stable disc, but there's OB over there. And she found it.
Yeah, she crossed a lot earlier than where her disc landed. Let's see what she's looking at for her save for bogey. Emily from out of bounds, throwing 3.
It doesn't look like it has enough turn to get in the circle. Let's see if she can stay safe. Uh-oh. Double OB.
This hole is extremely deceptive.
This is a strange spot. I guarantee Eveliina has never practiced from right there.
Yeah, they're both coming into the gap.
Wow.
Oh, wow. It looks like they hit the same gap.
No, Eveliina definitely went way more to the right and with a straighter disc. But still, like, that's not the normal shot you're practicing.
Holyn finding a fairway and getting a nice little tree bounce into the circle. I mean, into the bullseye.
Kat throwing 4 with the OB stroke. She's outside circle 2, and
that is not a straightforward scramble.
Yeah. She's going to still be pretty deep in circle 2. Emily trying to save just a single bogey, but it is going to be a double. And it is really easy to just stack up multiple errors on this course.
Kat with a long tester Anheuser putt. But she manages to still hyzer.
To make a hyzer.
Yeah. She's also going to have to settle for double bogey.
Eveliina for a birdie. Really nice second shot. I mean, her first shot was good too. That roll was just dramatic.
So impressive that she was able to get up and down from down where Emily went out of bounds. That area is brutal.
Holyn with a nice birdie. Back to even par. Two birdies, 2 doubles. Not the typical story on hole 5.
Definitely not. There were 10 birdies on the day today in the field. Played around middle of the pack in difficulty.
Eveliina in solo second with that birdie. Natalie Ryan sliding up to a tie for third with Kat Mertsch.
Oh, hole 6. 955 feet. This is the longest par 5 we play. It's also the most difficult regardless of distance with that OB line all the way down the right side and the very, very thick tree line on the left side. You have to throw a good tee shot in order to have birdie in play here. If you find yourself either out of bounds or early left, it's impossible to save any sort of birdie look. Sometimes it's even difficult to save your par. This out of bounds area just before the basket is thankfully in close enough where you're not quite worried about it. The only thing is you could hit those little guardian trees on the left side and drop down into it. Eveliina has
laced.
she's had no problem with this tee shot, and it's one that a lot of people in the field struggle with.
She's just able to throw the disc on a rope for so long. A lot of players working more of a turnover or flex line of some kind.
Yeah, Eveliina's just don't fade either.
They just go straight.
Yeah.
Like you can see Holyn puts a little turn, gets a little fade, and that's more of a typical shot on this hole, and it doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, trickling into that left side, it immediately takes away most of your options, and she's looking at a pitch out.
Or maybe like a step out sidearm with a little distance. We'll see.
That is so scary with that OB on the right side.
It is, but I think if you're going to throw the flex, that's what you have to do.
Yep. Emily with a really great shot.
Oh, Kat. Late hyzer. Is this going to work?
She gone.
Come on, man. The way the camera was working, I thought it might come back, but Kat pretty early out of bounds and with another scary shot here. Uh-oh. Hole 6, did it place the hardest hole in round 1?
Yep, it did. It was 1.25 strokes over par. Today it's 1.11 strokes over par. Still the most difficult hole of the day. I feel like if it was just a line of trees without the OB line on the right, it would still play as a difficult hole.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be as difficult purely out of mental.
Yeah,
Does that
because
make
you
sense?
end up, it makes perfect sense, because you end up on this left side every time because you're
scared.
afraid of the right side
Yep.
OB.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be a really interesting experiment to take that out and see the difference.
Because it's not like the right side is any easier to scramble from.
Right.
It just would be purely mental. Eveliina just winning the mental battle here by just having her tee shot in a clear area. The rest of the hole becomes so simple.
I think I would definitely play it better as a purely mental player. Wow, what a second shot from Eveliina. That's huge. That little kind of corner on the right side, the false corner, often kind of tricks you into fading right after that. It's kind of difficult to push past it and give yourself a shot across the little out of bounds ditch.
Holyn with a really tough flex forehand, making it look super easy, throwing it right at an OB line.
Kat throwing 5 already. This one looks really good. She's scattering her fans. And she'll be a little bit on the left side. I usually land on the right. I think it's fine over there. More of a hyzer line. Have you been over there?
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's if you're far enough back, especially, it's fine.
Holyn kind of chipping one, perhaps a bit shorter than you want. It's a blind landing zone, so it's really easy to leave this one short.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see Holyn not try to bite off just a little bit more, but she might be just feeling so comfortable with her approaches.
I am really surprised, 1, to see Emily not go for it from there, and 2, that layup was definitely late released and too hard, even if it was straight. Now she's throwing 5.
Uh-oh.
Might have
Oof.
yeah, definitely risky, but she's up there for a bogey, which isn't the worst score on hole 6. Again, averaging a whole stroke and then some over par. That looks perfect. Settle. Good girl.
Really nice speed control on Holyn's approach.
I was talking to the disc, not to Holyn,
I know.
just so we're all clear. Kat also going across, throwing 6. And she'll have a putt at it from circle's edge for a double. Eveliina throwing 3. You do not see this very often. Unfortunately, you do see that getting through the corner more than you'd like. It's hard to.
Every
I'm
time I've
surprised to
thrown-
see both.
Every
get
time
through.
I've thrown into those trees, it does not do that.
They usually smack them down.
They sure do.
there's a fir tree that'll smack them, and then there's something else that's thinner that they went through that not so much.
Eveliina's still not quite able to capitalize on her birdie here, but putting herself in position over and over again.
Emily for bogey.
Emily looking like just a little bit rattled here for a second. Mm-hmm. After that double bogey on hole 5.
Yeah, and I mean, her first 2 shots were so good, but that kind of, I don't know, layup that went straight out of bounds, that'll shake you. Solid putt.
Yeah, for how Kat just handled that hole, she kind of, 7's great. It can stack up quickly on this one.
It looked worse than that.
It sure did. Holyn with a solid looking par. There was only 2 birdies today, so you're not really sweating here if you're walking away with a par. You're actually very excited. Missy Gannon with a birdie. Katie Line also with a birdie.
Nice.
Only 2 people got to circle 1. Only 3 got to circle 2 in regulation. Wow. That's crazy.
Man, Emily and Kat both going double-double.
43% of the field bogeying that one. 27% of the field with a double or worse.
Ouch. And the
Yeesh.
field was 42, 43?
43. Or 44.
44 after the shuffle. Hole 7, another par 5, but I think it's more fun. You can pitch up, but we're not going to see that, I don't think, here. Most ladies going to throw kind of a flex line to this secondary island, and then potentially, we've seen Holyn Handley do this, go all the way to this final island. You can see how tight it is on either side. A lot of women going to lay up the second shot and just try to go for a simpler, safer birdie. But let's just see how these ladies island hop, shall we?
Checking in with Natalie Ryan.
That's a fantastic shot.
You think she's going for that inside gap? It sure seems like it.
It looked like it.
Yeah, that was great.
And she wasn't flexing it either. I think that looked very intentional.
It's a gap that I looked at in practice, but it just takes so much power to make sure your disc doesn't hyzer out. This shot also takes a lot of power. You just want to make sure that you cross over the island. It is out of bounds. Let's see if she crossed over that invisible plane, gets to take it from the other side.
She didn't, well, throwing a provisional because they're unsure. We didn't have a spotter on the final island, so I think they're going to go see where the disc landed.
That thing comes in hot, but a tree knocks it down. She'll be inside the circle. Looks like she's going to be able to take her initial throw, though the provisional does not matter.
So this is for birdie. An OB birdie, says no one ever.
Wow. OB birdie it is.
Yeah, guess so. That's crazy. Let's see how Eveliina attacks this. Wow.
Yeah, I like this route. I definitely don't throw it like this.
No? But what have I been watching?
Eveliina keeps it nice and low. She does run into those fir trees, but that's a pretty typical play for someone that is not necessarily going to go for it on their second shot. I think Eveliina is playing just for a birdie here for 4.
Holyn throws this crazy, risky, beautiful flex line over that inside gap. Wow. She almost goes deep. That's how good it is.
So she's throwing that shot. I think this is estimated because I haven't checked with my Bushnell rangefinder, but I'm pretty sure this shot takes about 380 to get here. Maybe 400.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a huge shot.
Yeah, going like as far as power goes, you have to go over the top of trees, and so that takes some more power, but also just pure distance. I think that is just carrying a lot of ground.
Yeah, I would say 400 seems. Oh my gosh.
Emily, we watched her play this hole and not feel comfortable with the backhand. Looks like she switches it up this time, tries a forehand, and just chucks it into the crowd.
Well, if it's safe, she can still get a birdie from over there. The layup play is really viable. It's a tough second shot. Kat Mertsch pulls it to the right. There's lots of OB over there, and it looks like she found it.
Kat not quite online here with her drives today.
Emily is safe. She's throwing 2. This is hyzering towards out of bounds. And she finds it.
Yeah, that's that difficult second shot that Erika was talking about.
Yeah, I think it calls for more of a sidearm if you have it.
Yeah, or like a pure turnover.
Or like throwing over those fir trees, which can be difficult.
Kat showing us that forehand line. She's a little on the short side. You might want to cover a little more ground. She's going to still have a difficult hyzer shot to the green.
Eveliina getting a little bit worked by this tree. Kind of a bit of a shorter pitch up than you'd like, but she should be in position, at least in a central location.
Yeah, Kat's really short here.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to throw a pure hyzer through some trees.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I don't think that crossed.
Okay, good. We got a spotter up here.
Oh, man.
And Emily out of position, just pitching up her 4th, looking to save a bogey. Eveliina's 3rd. Great shot.
I don't know if she liked it, but it worked out fine. Emily, a little far here. She's going to have to throw more of a turning shot.
Ooh,
Oh,
not
no.
turning enough. Whew. Oh, okay. It turned just barely enough. I was wrong. Lead card looking a little frazzled out here. Except for Holyn. Look at this. This is her second shot. That's dumb.
That is dumb. And what a smooth little forehand.
Dumb, respectfully.
Very respectful.
Yeah.
Holyn's
Wow.
sunglasses on. Looking cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, I actually
in all sense.
think she has a mojito at the ready with a slice of cucumber in it.
Oh, man. God, Kat just on the line here.
Cat for another double. Wow. Double, double, triple. Horrible in disc golf. Really bad for you in burger form. Honestly, saving a bogey there is very impressive from Emily.
Yeah, Emily kind of dieting there. Double, single.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Oh, look at that.
And Holyn taking another eagle on this hole.
Dare I say it, a simple eagle.
A very simple eagle. We played this course 2 times. This is the second time, and Holyn has 2 eagles. That's just 4 down on one hole. At this course, where we're watching people take double bogeys, triple bogeys, that's insane.
Like, what a huge swing in a single hole.
Just really flexing on us, showing us why she is continuing to stay in the lead here. Kat has been having some really solid mental game, but it's really, as a golfer, one of the most difficult things in the world to bounce back from 1 double bogey. But
Then 2.
yeah,
Now a triple. Ouch.
still only sliding down to 7th place. So
And there's time. There's
yeah,
birdies.
there is time. Lots of golf left. Hole 8 is an uphill 439 feet. This is a very birdieable hole, but not an easy one. Distance-wise, it seems like it would be easy on paper, but this is a very steep hill. And if you land off the fairway right side or left side, there's just the perfect amount of trees to not really be able to find a gap. You leave yourself with most often with a step-out straddle sidearm turnover or a patent-pending backhand hyzer. And those are both very difficult, very technical shots.
That's weird because it sounds so simple.
If you can land in the middle, though, it is such an easy hole.
Holyn laces that one.
And
It looks
she
like a
loves
Z-Buzz SS. Beautiful shot.
Ooh, Eveliina squeaking up the right side, but getting that little final kick into the middle. It's such a straightforward approach shot from there.
Emily looking to bounce back. Ooh, love that little turning shot. That's my preferred play too. And she gets way up there.
Look at the stacking of discs right now. That is professional disc golf, folks.
Bonus points for grouping for sure. And Kat
There
doing?
she is.
Yeah, good job. You could see how frustrated she was in the last hole. Doesn't stop her from out driving her card mates by a nice 30 feet or so.
She's put a lot of work in on her mental game the last couple of years, and it's so impressive for her to lace a shot like that after taking so many strokes on so few holes. A nice little hyzer approach into this rocky green.
Really scenic little green. Man, it's crazy how far up they are. Usually this is kind of an uphill blind shot. And it's still, I don't want to call it blind, but wow,
Yeah,
so much
Holyn
shorter.
can see the band for sure. Kat the farthest, a little bit the furthest to the left as well, opting for the sidearm approach. There's definitely room over there.
Everyone on the dance floor. Eveliina up first for her birdie.
There she is.
Yeah, she's really stacking them up here. What, 4 down through the last 5 holes? 3 down overall? Yeah, that one hurts.
This is one of the top 3 easiest holes of the day. It is one that you feel like you should be getting, quote unquote. Should.
Yeah, definitely pressure to birdie this one. Emily doing a great job bouncing back from those difficult holes. And Holyn really back on track, solidly in the lead after that initial bogey start.
Yeah, 3 down through the last 2.
Sick.
And from a kind of a tight race, we have Holyn back to a 3-stroke lead. Eveliina still not backing down though. Tied currently for one of the hot rounds of the day. Does that say Silva was at 6 down? Sorry, I was reading really fast.
Oh, were you? I didn't.
I think Silva
you
was
read
6
faster
down.
than me. Let's wrap it up with hole 9. It's
Yeah.
a par 5, only 780 feet. Kind of a softer par 5. You really want to get this one. This is the other one we have seen Holyn eagle. You want your first drive to land as far up or over the initial hill in the middle of the fairway. A lot of the middle of the field kind of landing in the depression, having to throw nose up on the second shot. A lot of these big distance throwers are getting to the top of that hill that we see and able to throw and get eagle looks.
Here's a chase card check-in with Heidi Line, our current distance world champion.
There is OB on both sides, but it's wide. It's very fair. You're kicking yourself if you find it.
She's just worked herself back to even par. This hole is eagleable by the big distance arms in the field, so they are definitely trying to bite off a lot, get to the top of this hill.
And Natalie and Heidi both get up there nicely.
It looks steamy out there.
I was going to say, the mirage in the background?
So early in the morning when Erika and I played, it was very cold and very, very dewy. But
Yeah, I think
once
it
it
was
heated
even
up,
foggy.
yeah, once it heated up, it looks like it's a little damp out there.
Have you ever thought we should play better?
Later?
So then we could do it later?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it just came to me.
Oh,
no
my
way! Heidi
gosh.
trying to ring this thing up for an albatross? Come on!
That came in so hot.
Wow! I'm glad it checked up for her. That was cool.
Natalie running that one in out of her hand.
Great eagle. Tap in eagle for Heidi.
Wow. That's so
I
impressive.
can't believe she just, oh man, I wish that went in. We've only had one on record from Holyn.
You think Holyn can go 2 eagles again in one round?
I do.
Ooh, this tee shot says yes.
Yep.
Was that farther than both Heidi and Natalie's shots?
Comparable, but it does look a bit farther.
Eveliina not quite biting as much off and kind of heading towards the OB.
Yeah, it looks like a very stable disc. I think she checked up in time. Probably going to be dealing with a bit more of a side slope, but still good distance.
Emily's still confidently throwing this disc towards out of bounds. Getting
That's a
some
more
good distance.
More typical landing zone, though.
Yep. Yeah, we see a lot of players right on the side of that hill.
You know Kat wants to eagle this.
Yeah. So Kat here is going to have to really just continue to play within her means, though, because she has the ability to just rip discs farther than everybody else. Mm-hmm. But it's not always what you need to do at a course like this.
Yeah.
However, this is a great hole to do that on.
Sure is. One of the best. One of the most open, probably the most open hole out here. Emily's second in a good position. Should be a pretty simple pitch up for a birdie. This one, par feels terrible.
Eveliina a little bit more wrapped, having to throw a hyzer line, but she is comfortable with that.
great power. And she'll be out just outside the circle for an eagle.
Yep. Looking at a long putt. Let's see if Holyn can get a little closer here for her eagle look.
Looks overturned. But she'll have a long look.
Yep. Similar distance, but past the basket. Holyn problems.
Cat probably, what do you think, like 340?
Oh, less than that.
320.
I don't know. Oh, I forget this is for eagle. I don't know. You're asking the wrong girl.
Okay.
My second shot's usually just barely in front of this.
Somewhere between 200 and 400 feet away.
Yeah. Slightly downhill.
And a nice shot from Emily. You can see why this is a pretty simple birdie. One of the two, I think, kind of must get birdies out here at this course.
Eveliina for an eagle.
Nice layup for birdie. 3 in a row, though.
Holyn with this thing in her way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what thing?
She does. Look at eagle, birdie, eagle.
Oh my gosh.
Check out those slow-mos. Look at this thing right in her way.
The fact that she's got 2 rounds right now at the World Championships with 2 eagles.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The quadreagle? Is that what you're trying to say?
She's playing these holes well enough to eagle them consistently.
Mm-hmm.
The quadreagle is exactly what I'm saying.
Right.
Let's see if Kat can erase one of those doubles.
Yeah. Get it, girl. She's back.
Rare.
Did you see a ringer or did you just meow a little bit?
I did. I meowed.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we clarified.
And a nice birdie from Emily Weatherman.
If someone could go back and just get a clip of that for me, I would like to save that forever.
There were 5 eagles today.
And a star frame with 2 eagles. What?
Yeah. What is right?
Fireworks to end the round. Holyn Handley moving to 5 down in a 4-stroke lead over Eveliina Salonen. Natalie Ryan shooting up to solo third. She's 3 down with that eagle.
Yeah, and look at Silva Saarinen. She was 6 down.
Yeah, good
13.
reading. Impressive. You were way down that list.
She did a great job shooting low in the first round we played out here. Coming back again today up into a tie for 8th. That's going to be the front 9.
Mm-hmm. We have 9 more holes for you in round 3 at New London Tech, a new course. Come join us on the back 9. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hotkeys.
Honk.
Honk.